Fiat 500 Abarth, the Cinquecento. It's one of my favorite cars of the year. In fact, it's one of the most fun cars I've ever driven. And to put it to the test, I'm going to drive it from here in Boulder, Colorado, all the way to Durango, Colorado, going over a bunch of mountain passes like Kenosha Pass and through South Park, which you may have heard of. But the real trick is this. It's my bike. Because what I'm going to do in Durango is race a train. It's called the Iron Horse Classic, 50 miles up over a mountain pass to Silverton. But the first thing I gotta do is see if I can fit the bike in the car. First stage of the ride, thrill and anticipation. I'm just waiting for it to turn into suffering and misery. I'm sure that's not far off. Luckily, the Abarth is a hatchback, so hopefully this bike will fit in the back with the seats down. So one seat down, 2 seats down, wheel off. This is the easy part, of course. The hard part will be making sure that the bike actually fits in the car. Actually, to be honest, the harder part will be going 50 miles, 6,500 feet up over a pass to Silverton, because the extent of my training has been 2 weeks. I am not ready to do this bike ride. The car's ready to do the road trip. I wish I was as ready for the bike ride. All right, let's see. Oh, all right, that's trouble. Obviously, this bike is not going to fit in this car. There's only one thing to it. I have to take the rear wheel off. And hopefully, with the rear wheel off, this bike will fit in the car. But this gets tricky because it gets very dirty. Very dirty. So let's see if I can. Ha! Look at that. That is the first time I've been able to do that easily. All right, so one more try, one more chance, one more try. Come on, Mike, you can do it. You can do it. Whoa! Woohoo! The bike fit in the car. So now the question is, will the luggage fit? Can you believe it? It all fits. One bike, all my gear, even a tire pump. So join me on this very special episode of the Fast Lane Car as we take this Abarth Cinquecento on a road trip to Durango, Colorado to see if I can beat a train on a bike. This will be fun. All right, here we are heading towards Fairplay, Colorado. We are taking the back way. Okay, just stop it. Why is it that a gas pump can only beep at you? They gotta have better technology than that. Anyway, we're taking the back way and we're going to Durango. And I thought you might be curious, for a little tiny car, we're getting 29.4 miles to the gallon, which is okay. You know, it's not bad. And given this car's wonderful exhaust note, I think that's well worth it. There is one small thing you should be aware of. You have to put a minimum of 87% octane, so you can't put the cheap stuff in. Five gears, that's all you get. And you know what? That's plenty. I think a 6th gear would be one too many. It would be like going to 11. You really don't need 11 in this car. 5 is plenty. A couple lessons from the road. First and foremost, this car encourages really bad driving habits. It's so small you want to dart in and out of traffic, which is never a good thing. And I do not condone it, but the car kind of makes you want to do it. Alright, I'm blaming the car. I should be blaming myself. I know. Maybe this big fat Abarth steering wheel is faking me out, but it runs dead straight and true. This may sound strange, but there is something quintessentially American about taking a road trip through the middle of Colorado in an Italian car. Logically, this would be a great trip to take into Durango because we're going to Durango, but this country is made up of immigrants, so why not have a little immigrant car in one of the greatest states in America? is a hoot to drive, especially on a twisty road. If you do get the Cinquecento Abarth, you gotta take it out someplace where you can really feel how well it handles, like Colorado. Alright, I got a RAV4 on my butt. I'm gonna hit the sport button. I'm gonna downshift to third. Goodbye, RAV4! I am not sure I am ready. No, let me repeat that. I am definitely sure I'm not ready to take on 6,500 feet of elevation on a bicycle over 50 miles. My training so far has been 2 weeks of trying to ride my bike every day, and cramming for a bike ride slash race like this is probably not a good idea. So tomorrow is going to be, well, it's going to be a suffer fest. I already know that. All right, here it is, 7:30, about to start the ride, and there's only 2 words that I can give you to express how I feel. More cowbell. I need more cowbell to try to climb 2 passes, 50 miles on 2 weeks training. Thank you for the cowbell. All right, gang, there's the train, and you've got me, because I don't have a photographer, as your cameraman. It takes 3.5 hours for the train to get to Silverton. The goal for most of these cyclists, right there, is to beat the train.
It's about 50 miles by road. You take the low road, you take the high road.
And how fast does the train go? I mean, I know some parts are really steep and some parts aren't.
It averages about a little over 13 miles per hour.
3.5, that's a number to remember, because 3.5 hours is what the train takes. And if that reaches 3.5, the train's in Silverton, and I'm probably not. I gotta make it to Silverton by noon, because that's when the train gets there. Here goes the ride. So this first 15 miles is cake for me. It's when it starts to go up, and all that additional weight is really gonna start to pay a toll. Okay? Because I'm known as a Clydesdale in the triathlon world, and that's any racer over 200 pounds, and I'm certainly over 200 pounds. Okay, I'm 15 miles into it, and the train is about to pass me. That's trouble. There it goes. I don't think I'm going to be beating the train up this mountain. No, sir. Probably not. So how far to the next pass?
I believe to the next pass you've got about probably 10 miles from here.
Is it climbing or is it rolling?
It's a climb.
All right, well that officially concludes the man versus machine part of the ride as man 0, machine 1. Now the fun starts. 20 miles into it, and over my left shoulder are the mountains. So now man versus mountain. But the 2 big climbs are just ahead of me, and I've got an hour and 15 to make it before they close the pass. So that's 10 miles an hour, 15. Normally that's cake, but it's pretty steep. So I better get going, because I don't want to get stuck behind the sag wagon, right?
That's right. They'll be coming up behind you.
All right, hour 15, 10 miles. I can do it.
Have a great ride.
We're close. We're at Cobank, and we're shut down about 3 or 4 minutes ago, so
I
you
just
can't
missed
go
it.
on no more. Huh?
I just missed it, huh?
You just missed it.
All right, I can't express to you how disappointed I am that I didn't make it. It was 4 hours of riding, much of it uphill. The train has certainly beat me to Silverton, so I guess the moral of the story is, if you're gonna do this ride, start early. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. See you next time. All right, I have to tell you, as much as I'm disappointed by my own biking performance, I am impressed by this Italian import built in Mexico, this Cinquecento Abarth here in Colorado. It fits like a glove, and best of all, it has an engine note that's as good as any Ferraris out there. It is a joy to drive, and I would take this as my road trip companion any day.